Pretty much, yeah. Welcome to the Midnight Gaming Council. My name is Patters, and here with me this week is Patters and Vrbanac. How's it going, man?
Not too bad yourself?
Yeah, good mate, good mate. So on today's menu, we are talking about backwards compatibility. More specifically, Sony and Microsoft backwards compatibility on their current gen consoles. So
what's good about it? What's bad?
Yes.
What could be improved? Or
pros and cons.
Yeah.
The importance of it, and just everything in between. So the current state of backwards compatibility, I guess we'll start off with Microsoft. They have Xbox 360 games available on the Xbox One, and you can download them, or you can use your original discs.
Yeah. We're not sure if it
downloads the game.
Downloads the whole game, or if it downloads like a compatibility patch or something like that.
Or something.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Because I don't have an Xbox One, or neither do you. And I've never had a 360 or anything, so I'm not sure how that works. But yeah,
if you've got the disc, you put it in and you can play it.
Exactly right. And they've sort of it is kind of like emulation, but they've kind of, I guess, reworked the games to make them work on the per game is it's like worked on. Each game is worked on. It's not like just an overall emulator and you can just put in any game and it might or might work. They actually put the effort in to make sure that the game
making sure they do work.
Exactly right for the Xbox One.
Yeah.
And they're upscaled as well, and they run a bit. Well, whether they run better or nicer is up to the person playing it, but they do run.
Yeah.
Which is good. They've recently done Xbox original.
Original. Yep.
With the Xbox One X.
Yeah.
Like they coincide with the release of that. I got a mate who's downloaded a few games and played a few games, and he's quite impressed and happy with how the emulation works. It's basically how it should. You put in the disc or download it, and away you go.
Some people say that the game looks a little bit better than it did on the original Xbox, so they sort of upscale it a little bit with the current hardware.
Yeah, so they make it like they clean up the
like textures and stuff,
textures and graphics and the resolution and things like that, just to make them look better on bigger screens and newer screens. Because like the original Xbox, for example, wasn't a HD console, but so you could play it on just normal old school tellies. You could play it on the flat screen ones with the component cables. But overall, it wasn't a 1080p sort of signal or what have you. So they boosted and sort of made to look nicer on the new consoles, which is good. Anything else on Microsoft's behalf that we've missed? I think no. I think overall it's pretty standard, it's pretty decent. I guess one thing we should mention is the amount of games that they have for backwards compatibility. Which did you look up how many there were, or what's the list?
But they're constantly releasing more and more and more.
They are, every at least every month or so, I hear of at least one or two titles that get added to the Microsoft Store for download, and they're not just the big name titles too. It's not just like Halo and what else is huge, like Gears of War and like Project Gotham Racing and things like that. It's other titles from other sort of software or companies or publishers, developers. So like one that always sticks in my mind, I think Dirt Rally 2 or 3 you can download for backwards compatibility, which is just a random rally game from Codemasters.
It doesn't have a number, but it says play 100.
Yeah, I think 100 sounds about right. Across
the Xbox 360 and the original Xbox.
And the original Xbox. And so you've got a list there, actually. I can see just some pictures. Okay, so that's the first wave of Xbox original titles that came out.
Prince of Persia, Fusion Frenzy, Star Wars, The Old Republic.
Yes, the first Knights of the Old Republic game.
Red Faction 2.
Yep.
Ninja Gaiden.
Yep.
Crimson Skies, Black.
Yes.
Pirates.
Let's say Pirates.
Pirates.
Okay.
Blood Rain 2, which I'm not familiar with.
Yep.
Psychonauts, not familiar with that one.
So my mate downloaded Black and what was the other one? Blood Rain?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they did look good. Yes, they ran nicely. The issue my mate said it's just an emulation thing. Like the animations sometimes looked a bit weird because it's trying to upscale it, make it look sort of smoother, and sometimes it looks or plays a bit weird. But either way, they're off to a good start with the original sort of Xbox games, and I hope they bring more. Exactly, because for the 360 when that came out, they did the same thing with the original games. You could for the original Xbox. You could download them. It was in the same way too. They had I think hundreds at one point. So yeah, they for Xbox One, they've done the same with 360, bringing back the old games, which is good. Are they like recent ones or for the 360 that you've just come up?
Game
or just random ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I was saying with random games, you got fucking what is it? Peggle 2. That's a random one. Dual Quest. Like, you know, they're probably only $10 games. They're just random obscure titles.
It's like, why?
Yeah, why? Like, who plays this? Why?
Yeah.
But I guess it's probably easier to get the license and work it. But yeah, it's good to see that there's different, or sort of a lot of different titles.
On the library, it's got 22 pages of games.
Just bring up a random page. We'll see what there is.
Okay, we'll go to page 18.
Alright, so this is page 18 on the official Microsoft store. We're just checking here.
So we've got Missile Command, Mirror's Edge, Might and Magic Clash of Heroes, Metal Slug XX, Metal Slug 3, Mass Effect, Load Runner, Lego Star Wars, Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, Left 4 Dead 2, Cameo, Just Cause 2, Joyride Turbo, Jetpack Refueled, Jet Set Radio, and Iron Brigade.
See, that like we were saying with just the random titles, like that's random titles there. You got Mass Effect, that's a big one, and then you got Mirror's Edge as well. But then you got something like what's that?
Monaco. What's yours is mine. What the fuck's that game?
It looks like a random just old Xbox Live Arcade sort of party title. Which there was also a few arcade sort of titles. I guess like the Clash of Heroes is one of them as well, like those sort of games. But so. Microsoft, they know what they're doing. Look, there's Sonics there as well. They're backwards compatible. So they go the extra effort to not only re-release that Sonic one, for example, because it's already been on the store as a 360 title. They haven't waited to remake an Xbox One version. They've just said, we'll just make this one backwards compatible. So if you've already bought it, previously in your account, you can just download it. Much like PlayStation as well, it's got that sort of functionality with some games or most games. But that's good. So, by comparison, if we were to load up Sony's, Sony's backwards compatibility list...
Put a PS1 game on your PS4?
No, nothing. Nothing at all. Which is quite unfortunate. You can't do a thing. There is absolutely no backwards compatibility whatsoever on Sony's behalf in this current gen on the PS4 side, except for a handful of PlayStation 2 games, which the majority of them are from Rockstar. So you got the Grand Theft Autos and like Bully and I think like a couple of others, and there's other titles as well, but overall... It's nothing. It pales in comparison to what Microsoft have been doing. Lift your game, Sony. There's nothing else to say because there's nothing to talk about.
2017. You've got the hardware. You've got the
brains.
You've got the brains. You've got the money to do it.
Just do it. Give us some backwards compatibility or functionality. I mean,
it's not like you're not going to make money on it. If you put backwards compatibility in, people are going to pay for the games.
Exactly. If you make the games available, like people will buy the old classics. People do that because people trade in games or they can't find them or their discs get scratched or whatever. You give us some way to play those older titles. PS3s did. PS3 was actually really good for backwards compatibility. You had the on launch, especially the launch console had the PS1 and PS2 disc functionality because they actually had a PS2 chipset in the console, which made it basically 100%
PS2 console
compatibility. Yeah, exactly. And then you could play the PS3 games. Those are highly sought after, those consoles now, because you can play 3 generations of PlayStation in one hit.
And then to find one that's still working now,
very very difficult task. Because those first generation of consoles, they didn't last quite as long. Like first generation of consoles generally iffy like that. But then a year or two later they dropped the PS2 chipset in it, so you couldn't play PS2 games anymore, but you could still play PS1 discs because it was emulated, which is nice. I use my PS3 quite a lot for PS1 games, but if I find that they don't quite work, I'll use the PS1 if I have to. But if I can get away with it on the PS3, I will, because it looks nicer, it runs nicer. You don't need memory cards.
Because you get the virtual memory cards.
Exactly, which is really cool because you can have as many as you want and you can label them like different things. But so still on the topic though, I think in 2011 or 12, somewhere around there, Sony released PS2 games for download, which you can play on any PlayStation 3, but you can't put your discs in, which is a bit dodgy. So the functionality is there for these games, but they just didn't put the extra effort to put the disc thing in, which you could still put PS1 discs in.
Or even, when I had my PS3, I purchased the original Spyro trilogy and the original Crash Bandicoot trilogy.
Yes.
And when I got the PS4 originally, I wasn't aware that you couldn't download them on that. So I was looking for them because I was like, I've got them.
Yep.
I want to download them.
Yep. But no. That is quite garbage, to be honest. I agree. Like, there's no reason at all
why you cannot emulate a PS1 on the PS4.
There is no reason whatsoever. Are you telling me that Sony do not have capable engineers to make an emulator on the PS4?
All they've got to do is just do an emulator and put it in an
update.
Put it in an update. We download the update.
Yep. And
there you go.
Then we can put our disc in, and hopefully we can put in the old purchases as well that we had. Like, it's not hard.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Especially now when, I didn't know this, but recently I went into the PlayStation 3 store, and it looks exactly like the PS4 store now.
Yeah.
And it does not have a section for the old games, the old PS1 games. You have to manually search for them.
Yeah.
So,
which is a bit disappointing.
It is very disappointing because you want to be able to show people that these older games are still online.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, you want to download them and play them and stuff, but you just have to sort of guess. Like, I knew from years ago which sort of titles were roughly on there because they had them in their own section, and there was about 200 titles on the Aussie PS3 store for PS1 games, which is pretty decent. Like, that's a good start. It's not just like 20 or so, which is what the PS4 backwards, like, you know, the ones you can download up. Yeah. Which, it just pales in comparison to what Microsoft are doing.
It's silly.
It's very silly, Sony. Please just give us the emulation.
So that's where Microsoft is definitely winning at the moment with that.
100%. There's just no comparison there. Like, Sony used to be very good with it. Yeah, the PS2, you could play PS1 games, use the memory cards, and the all the games would work fine.
Yeah.
Maybe accessories as well. You could even plug in and use.
Yeah.
You couldn't use the old controllers, I don't think. But you could use the PS2 controllers on it, which is good. PS3 comes around, same deal.
Yeah.
And PS4 has just dropped the ball completely.
So here we go. We've got PS2 classics on PS3.
This is on PS3.
PS3, so there's arcade classics.
Okay, so we're on the iPad here looking at the games list. Store. There is actually a separate section on here for the classic games. So if you have a PS3 and you want to look at the older games, just go on your internet, iPad, whatever, and it's online there.
Then we've got PS2 classics on PS4. It's got 2 pages.
2 pages. Compared to how many, sorry, that were on the PS3?
3 pages.
3 pages. So, there's not that many more on the PS3,
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
So we've got 30 games so far. PS2 games on the PS4?
35, 40, 45, 50. So there's 50 PS2 games that we can play on the PS4.
Okay. And there's probably 60 or 70 on the PS3. Yeah.
Compared to the hundreds on the Xbox One.
Exactly. Through both eras as well. Not good enough. Not good enough, Sony. Lift your game.
Yeah.
I want to be able to play. I want to be able to put in my old PS1 discs, like Army Men 3D, for example, go into party chat and talk to you and like our mates or whatever you guys are playing. You know, you use some Share Factory even, take some photos. Like,
I wouldn't want to know how much money I'd spend if they were to release release heaps of games that
were like the
older games.
Exactly right. I mean, I think the last games they put on for the PS3 for PS1 was the Spyro trilogy for the Aussie, at least for the PAL market, and that sold a lot. Just looking at the ratings and this and that, and it was really cheap too. Just put there's so many other games there that people love and they grew up with it that they want to go back and play, and it's not like the files are huge.
No,
you know, I think more effort is needed. Hey, some Star Wars titles there I can see. So these are the PS2 games on the PS4. Yeah, so the
Star Wars Bounty Hunter.
Yes, that was on. That was a PS2 game.
So the Grand Theft Auto trilogy.
Yes.
So 3, San Andreas, Vice City,
which I have been playing recently, and they're bloody amazing, especially on the PS4. And what's good too with these reworked classics is they do have achievements and trophies.
Yeah.
They do have like share play, all that all that sort of functionality, and they do look a lot nicer.
So that one's $21 and you get all 3 of them.
$21 for 3 grand. Yeah, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
Like number 3 is an absolute classic. Vice City is arguably better, and I know people love San Andreas, and that's a great game too. So, yeah, good stuff. There are some good games there, but not enough.
Not enough.
Just put the emulator on there. Like Red Faction, that's a really good that's a good option there. I actually wouldn't mind downloading that and see how that runs. Anyway, moving on on the topic of backwards compatibility and what have you, I guess we should mention Nintendo as well, who are overall not bad with their backwards compatibility. We'll start off with the Wii, console-wise, because that had backwards compatibility with the GameCube. Yeah. It pretty much was a GameCube, because it had the ports on there and the memory card stuff. Yeah. Was the Virtual Console available straight away with the Wii, or no, it wasn't? So that came later.
That was something that was added in an update.
Okay. Do you remember how long afterwards? Or?
I can't remember.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I know it wasn't on launch.
It wasn't at launch.
No.
Was there any online at launch actually?
No.
Okay.
That was something that was added in at a later update.
So you could still connect very basically.
Yeah, because you needed the external network adapter. It didn't have an actual Ethernet port on it.
Really?
Yeah, so you had to
buy like a little cheap sort of thing to...
You'd had to use the Nintendo one.
Ah, that's right. You had to buy a Nintendo one. Yeah. Did it have Wi-Fi at least?
No.
Bloody hell. So yeah, back then...
Actually, no, it didn't. It didn't. The Wii U did.
Yes, the Wii U did.
Yeah.
Well, the Wii came out this was years ago now.
Yeah.
2006, 2005. It was before the PS3 even came out.
I think for its time, it was Nintendo's most successful console because of the motion controls. It was the first console of its kind with that.
Yeah, with that sort of stuff, and it was a runaway success. It decimated fucking PlayStation 3 and 360 in the sales. But when I think about back to that gen, I don't really think about the Wii.
No.
There was a few good games for it though.
Yeah.
But so it was basically a GameCube as well. It had very similar graphics and capabilities and stuff. It's just the Wii had the motion capabilities.
Yeah.
The controller for the Wii actually worked really well for backwards compatibility because
you were able to turn it sideways.
Turn it sideways. It was like a classic controller.
Yeah.
Like a NES and a SNES one. More so a NES one because they only had a D-pad and 2 buttons and start and select, which is exactly what the Wiimote sort of nunchuck had. So the SNES games, it would have had to have used the Pro controller though, hey, or the classic attachment.
Yeah. Classic if you were playing, say, like Super Mario, which had absolutely basic controls, you could use the Wii remote on the side. But depending on what you're playing,
you needed certain things.
Pro controller.
Yeah. So from my experience and just playing it, the GameCube functionality works really well. It's like a native sort of thing.
So you just put a disc in,
and it works.
Put the 4 ports on
the top of the
so you can
have 4 controllers. Exactly right. And I'm not sure. I'm sure with the GameCube you could put component cables in there and upscale it a bit. You can do the same with the Wii. So they're both the same thing.
It did have that the component adapter.
Yeah. So which is good. And so the Virtual Console came out later. With Nintendo and their virtual stuff, they mostly stick to their sort of franchises and their games, which with Nintendo they do tend to release a lot more of their own games anyway for their consoles. So you get all the Donkey Kong, Marios and Zeldas, a few other little odd things, I guess, like F-Zero. That's just one that comes into my mind. I think that's a Nintendo game.
F-Zero, anyway. Star
Fox, yeah. What other Virtual Console fucking titles have been just randomly out? It's really much all the big Nintendo names.
Yeah.
And they get released on multiple consoles too. Yeah. So you have the Wii Virtual Store, and then you have a DS one or a 3DS one as well, which has different titles.
Yeah. And
the purchases aren't transferable. But that's not the system that Nintendo has had for a while now. So I continue on with the consoles though. The Wii U was Wii backwards compatible. It was basically a Wii inside that console because it had the menu as well. It was the same.
No, see, you had the Wii U menu, but then it had, like, if you wanted to play Wii discs, it had the option to go to the original Wii menu. So it had that built in.
Yeah, exactly. It was built in. There was an option in the Wii U menu to open up the Wii menu.
Yeah.
And what was good with that too is you could upscale it. Like, it was a full 1080 signal because the original Wii wasn't a HD console actually, which I guess keeps costs down. And with what Nintendo were trying to go for, they weren't going for the HD thing anyway. But it does look nicer. Like, I played Super Mario Galaxy a fair bit on the Wii U just to get the graphics comparison with the upscale, and it looks it's upscaled and nice. It's a bit more jaggy because it's clearer. I guess it upscales it, but overall it's alright.
That's one thing that they've done is they've had CD drives, but they've never implemented a DVD player.
No, they haven't.
Into their the two that they've had are the Wii and the Wii U. They're the two disc-based consoles.
But the GameCube was as well, but that was their mini
discs.
Mini disc. Yeah, they've always made the disc just to
read the discs.
To read the Nintendo sort of game discs, and that's it. I'm not sure if any other consoles even had other functionality for, like, importing USB stuff, like pictures or videos, or even probably not, to be honest. Not even the Wii U, I don't think.
Yeah,
it had some apps, I think.
There were, like,
Netflix
and all that.
Yeah, but nothing really
it was basic.
Yeah, it was. So the Switch has no backwards compatibility physically because it uses cartridges as opposed to CDs, like the Wii U did. I was kind of hoping it would come out with a 3DS port, the Switch, but that's no matter.
When they said they were going to have cartridge-based games, a lot of people were saying they thought they were going to be the same size and be the 3DS cartridges.
That would have been interesting. Playing DS and 3DS games on a Switch. Upscale them or have your library there. That's what I would have done if I designed the console. But no matter. It is a good console regardless. The Virtual Console has not come out for the Switch yet. When's that coming out?
2018.
2018.
So when they launched their paid subscription service.
Yes, which is...
So that's going to be 2018. So apparently it's going to be like $30 for 12 months, which is fairly decent.
That's very decent compared to Live and
they're going to be doing a whole where people that have subscriptions can get special deals on the Nintendo eShop and
you get bonus like
So they're going to have it. So when I think they're going to release the virtual.
You get a free game a month or something to rent.
I think when you release the virtual console. When they release the virtual console, they'll have the paid subscription along with it.
Yeah.
Because apparently there's an offer where you get like one game per month, like PlayStation Plus.
Yes. Yeah. I guess we'll find out more details when it comes closer to it. They might let you keep the game, or who knows. And what games will come out for it.
With PlayStation Plus, you get to keep the game, but you need to have a subscription.
That's exactly
active.
Right. Yes. Yeah, that's exactly right. With the Microsoft one, you don't need a subscription, I believe. You just need a silver account.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, though, to be honest, as we're not Xbox gamers.
But then one thing I find disappointing is I had so many virtual console games on the Wii U, and it would be nice to be able to just log in and just re-download those on the Switch.
Absolutely right. If Nintendo have a flaw with their backwards compatibility stuff, it would be that.
Yeah.
But not being able to transfer your exactly the same game purchase from a 3DS to a Wii.
But that's where they get their money, because they know that people like me
will buy them
again and again.
You really want to play that game.
Yeah.
And you want to play it portably or whatever. Or they'll even do, is there a... Because they have Nintendo 64 games on the 3DS, don't they?
Yes. There's
is Ocarina of Time on there, for example?
Well, they re-released that on the 3DS anyway.
So have they got both versions, though?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, that would have been even more fucking stingy.
Yeah.
It's like, we'll re-release the game, but we'll release the old version as well, so you get them both. but that's good too, to re-release sort of old games if you don't want to make it backwards compatible, re-release it to make it compatible. But I'm happy with that too.
Nintendo know that people are going to pay for it, so they're just like,
they're very protective of their brands like that. They like to keep hold of keep their franchises close to them and like control of them and things like that. We've covered everything with Nintendo there pretty much. We'll mention, I guess, so starting from the Game Boy Color, they had backwards compatibility because you put original Game Boy games in there. I sort of consider them the same thing though.
Yeah, it pretty much was the exact same, except
one had color. Yeah, that's the way I say it too.
They were a bit smaller and thinner.
They were, yes.
Because the original Game Boys were just chunky.
Yeah, and the cartridges are chunkier as well.
Yeah. No, the Game Boy Color and the Game Boy cartridges were the exact same.
Were they exactly the same? I think it was just a finish that was different.
Yeah.
Because I think they just made them heavier or something like that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're backwards compatible. They use the same port. Game Boy Advance comes out. I was pretty jealous when they came out because I didn't have one. That was backwards compatible
with the original Game Boy and Game Boy Color games.
Yes, so that's a pretty nifty console, eh?
Yeah.
I think the SP got rid of functionality though for.
Well, the SP you could play the original Game Boy and Game Boy Color games.
You could?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it was the other one you couldn't. The re-release of the the Game Boy Advance, the Micro or something.
Game Boy Micro, yeah.
That you couldn't play them on, I think. Yeah. But that was a smaller thing anyway. Then the DS comes out, you could play Game Boy Advance games on that. And then now the 3DS is out, you can play DS games on that, which is pretty amazing when you think about it, because the DS came out in 2004. So pretty much any DS game you can find, any 3DS game, it will play on your 3DS.
The amount of games they've got on the DS, it's unreal.
It is.
And I think they're cutting off support for the 3DS as well.
Ever so slowly.
Yeah, it's
to try focus on the Switch maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe they'll release
another handheld,
or like a Switch Mini or.
Yeah. Nintendo do own the monopoly on handheld.
They do. No, Sony tried. They sort of
Sony failed.
Yeah, they just couldn't compete with the might of the Nintendo, who have been playing in the handheld space for years now.
And I don't think Microsoft will ever even bother trying.
Definitely not. I don't think so either.
Yeah.
So just to wrap things up with the backwards compatibility and stuff, Microsoft, very good.
Good job.
Very good job. And since forever, really. The first console is the Xbox, nothing to be backwards compatible about. 360 comes around, it's backwards compatible. Not natively, but you can download all the games.
When the PS2 came out, you were able to play
PS1 discs?
PS1 discs.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
So Sony were alright with that too.
Yeah.
And then the Xbox One comes out, and now you're able to do
but you weren't,
both consoles.
I don't think you were able to do that on launch. It was
For the 360, I think you could. Yeah. For the Xbox One, you could just do 360. Yeah. I think at launch. I'm not sure how many games there were. Probably not as many. Yeah. But over time, they have released heaps. Yeah. And now this year they've done the original
Xbox.
Exactly. Yeah. So good on them for that. If they just keep going with what they're doing, and then in the future, those games that have been sort of compatible, if they keep making them compatible, you'll get like a good chunk of the library backwards compatible, which is good. Yeah. It's what you want.
I think what they're eventually leaning towards is having the entire back catalogue.
I bloody hope so. That's what I was hoping Sony would do with the PS3 when they were releasing PS1 games on there, but they did a decent job.
Yeah. They tried.
They tried. And now they're failing. But we'll get to them in a sec. To give them, a score per se.
A grilling.
A grilling, yes. Very much so. Because Microsoft, apart from, I guess, maybe... no, you know what? The way they're doing things, they're fine.
Yeah.
If they just keep releasing those odd games here and there, they'll get the majority of their titles backwards compatible. Awesome.
And some people may say that they've got the most powerful console at the moment as well.
Well, that they do, yes.
Yeah. So having the most powerful console
and backwards compatibility, it's very good. They just need more new games now.
Yeah.
But anyway, so on to Sony. Yeah.
Get your shit together.
Get your shit together, exactly. Get your shit together. You started off well. PS1 to PS2, it was all great. PS2 to PS3 started off good. You just kind of made up for it later on with the PS1 games. Not as many PS2 games on there. And now with PS4 is just garbage. There's nothing on there.
Yeah.
Can't even put in an old PS1 disc.
Yeah.
Like, come on. We want to be able to play these old games well into the future. If you're not going to offer emulation, give us the ability to download some games then. Like Microsoft are doing. They're not offering emulation, but they're making the games work properly for each...
on the new consoles.
Exactly, which is good. Hopefully when the next Xbox comes out, it's like pretty much backwards compatible with the current Xbox One, and everything just carries over.
Yeah.
And so in 20 years' time, you can hopefully still download and play
games that were released 20 years ago.
Exactly. I mean, that does depend on Microsoft still being around and updating the servers and stuff, which is another issue entirely. But overall, what they're offering is good. It's the most we can ask from them, I guess. Yeah. But Sony, not good enough. Just release those damn emulators.
Like we were just saying, it's 2017. They've got the engineers for it. All they've got to do is just...
The consoles are powerful enough.
All they've just got to do is program it in.
Yeah.
We update the consoles.
And then we pop in a disc and away we go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really as simple as that. It works on the PS3. It can work on the PS4. I mean, whether they want us to keep buying new games or playing new games, I don't know what the sort of direction is for it.
As I said, I would spend the money.
I would too, mate. Even if I've got the games already. Yeah. But regardless, give us some emulation, Sony, for PS1 and PS2 games. I mean, PS3 I can understand because the console is difficult to emulate for, but give us the ability to to play those older games, which would be a good topic for another episode actually, because we have talked about this quite a lot already. But just the general game preservation and just backwards compatibility, just being able to play older games is important.
Yeah.
And with consoles, you're able to play, like plug in and play. It's the perfect ground to preserve and maintain sort of older games.
Yeah.
And onto Nintendo. Overall it's good, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty much like
obviously,
Microsoft.
like with them, with the newer consoles having the old cartridge system, the only way that they can pretty much do backwards compatibility is by emulating the older games.
The emulation and downloads, which generally they do for their games.
Toward the end of the life of the Wii U, they actually had a decent back catalogue of games to download.
There was a few random ones too, wasn't there? Was Pokemon Snap?
Yeah.
That was, but just before the Switch came out, I think Pokemon Snap was available for emulation and download.
And even on the 3DS, like the eShop, the amount of games that they've got on there, it's unreal.
Nintendo are alright with that. They kind of stick to their own thing anyway. They kind of got their own sort of ecosystem in games.
So there's Microsoft and Sony, and then Nintendo. Yes. Just on their side doing their own thing. Yeah,
exactly. But overall, they're alright with what they do. Like, they at least try with their backwards compatibility when they can, like hardware-wise, if it's possible.
Yeah.
Sony, it's very possible, but they're choosing not to. Yeah. And Microsoft are, leading the charge, showing people how it's done. Yeah. Well, we'll wrap things up there. Thank you for being summoned to the Midnight Gaming Council tonight, Vrbanac.
No, you're right.
And we'll see you
next week.
Next week or next year.
Next year,
because it is it's almost Christmas. It's the 23rd today.
Yeah.
But we'll see you later.
See you next year.